to the Friday night edition of the Blitz Pickup. It wouldn't be the Blitz Pickup if we want to run a little late. But listen, man, what's good with y'all, man? Hey, today we're gonna be talking about my man, Jeff Hafley, his coaching staff. I called it the Dream Team. My counterpart called it the the Redeem Team. But yeah, we're gonna break down what we think about the coaching staff that he's assembled so far. Also, they have revealed and it's been announced the cap for 2026. So how much did it help the Dolphins? Do we think we're still in cap hell as we initially thought we were? We gonna let y'all know how we feel about that. But before I do that, let me bring my co-host up. Lou, what's good, my brother?
Tom, what's good?
Hey, listen, man. I know you're really excited about this amazing team that Jeff Hafley put together. But before we get get started, how was your day, my brother? How's everything so far?
Listen, my day has been absolutely. It was great until I knew that we had to do the show and talk about the Dolphins. Uh, now my day has went to now my day is not doing so well. And Tone, listen real quick, man. I cannot believe we're not even into a minute into the show and you're already out here lying to these people.
Oh wow! What did I?
You said you call this the Dream Team and I call this the Redeem Team. No, I call this shit trash. That's what I call it.
You said the Redeem Team earlier.
Well, I said the Redeem Team yesterday. I want to retract that statement. No, this is trash right here. This is what this is.
Hey, come on, you starting off hating, man. What you mean trash? I think what I'm saying. Listen, you gotta let them know. It's not who you know, it's what you know. It's not how it go, right? Now who you know, what you know, or do I got that backwards? Is it supposed to be? It's not what you know, it's who you know.
I don't even think these people know who the hell they are. Like I think everybody's lost at this point.
Well, you don't know yet. I will say this, man. Well, y'all get here, make sure y'all hit that like button because it's finna go down. Listen, man, it's Friday, been a little tough, you know what I'm saying? I was in traffic all day, thought I wasn't gonna make it, so y'all could blame me for the late start of the show tonight. But without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into the show real quick. Lou, hold on real quick. Let me get right. Mike Best early today. He must be like he's a half dude. He must be a happy dude. Boom. There we go, y'all. First question. So obviously, Lou, I put redeemed. Listen, it's half day. I'll put the Redeem Team. You see some of the people down there beneath us. Listen. I'm not gonna give my spiel. I'm gonna let you give it first. But we saw a list of the people that has we saw a list of the people that have already been announced.
Hey, Tom, listen. I don't even know what to do with this, Tom. Listen, I don't even want you to ask the question. Hey, Tom, you know what? You ever seen like a movie, or sometimes they do it in real life, where the police put up a lineup of a bunch of pictures of people, but you don't know the majority of who the hell those people are? That's what this is right here.
Well,
this is a bunch of people I don't know who the hell. Like Tone, if I asked you to put a name on the face, would you tell? Like, who are these people, Tone?
Oh my goodness! Hey, can y'all name the people without Googling? Can y'all name this lineup?
I guarantee you, I put a VC box on it. They can't. I put a VC box.
Before today, I'm going to be real with you. Before today, just looking at these pictures, I would have not. Well, not before today. Before we brought in Hafley, I would have not been able to know neither one of these guys by face. I'm just be real. I would have not known either one of these guys just by face, like without putting a name to it. Mike Best say, "I see Nathaniel Hackett." Which one is he? Mike Best. But Lou, man, listen. This is the lineup so far. What are your thoughts? I know. You know what? Just give me your thoughts. What's your thoughts on it? I'm gonna give you my thoughts, but how you feeling? Even though we already know.
Listen, this show, I'm gonna be very entertaining for tonight's episode. Tony's gonna give you all the knowledge. Tony's gonna tell you the breakdown. He's gonna tell you the resumes of all these guys. I don't know a damn thing about none of these people. Tone,
Oh
what am
my
I supposed to do with
goodness.
this, Tone? Tone, this is trash, bro. This is trash. And again, we
Gee.
should have added, and again, we do a live show. It was kind of breaking news, Tone. We were talking about it a little bit backstage. Applebaum, some guy named Applebaum is back. According to what I see Steve in the chat, Tone, he's saying Applebaum is back. So, like I was telling you, I think he was a coach here in Miami before. Either way, he was a bum then, he's a bum now. Like, his name is Applebaum. Tone, we're bringing guys back that have already failed here. This is how bad it is. We're bringing people that have already been in the building that have failed, and we're bringing those people back. Like, Tone, Nathaniel Hackett, dog. Now, you know what's crazy, Tone? Nathaniel Hackett has went to Denver. We thought he was trash. He coached with the Jets. We called him trash over there. He's been a lot of places. We called him trash. Now, all of a sudden, he's the Lord and Savior coming to Miami. Stop, bro. It's trash. Let's go down the lineup, Tone. You put him up here. There's a black dude on the far right. I don't even know who the hell that is. There's a white. Hey, Tone. There's a white bald dude next to him. I don't know who the hell that is. There's a black dude in the middle. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know who the hell that is. And then there's two other white dudes. Tone, I don't know these people, dog.
Oh my God.
Listen, Tone, I told you I'm going to be funny tonight. Listen, Tone, you're going to have to put your back brace on tonight. You're going to have to carry the show.
Yo.
I don't know nothing about these dudes.
Oh my God.
All I'm saying is, man, listen, we got to call a spade a spade. At least when the other coach in the other regime was here, Mike McDaniel, we knew who these guys were. The Vic Fangio of the world, established guys. Darrell Bevels of the world, Super Bowl winner. We knew who these guys were. Tone, we're getting a bunch of bums to come over here and coach. This is again, I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it today. It's unacceptable to me. Like, as Dolphin fans do, and I want to be clear, Tone, I want it to work out. Week 1, I'll be rooting for Hafley, I'll be rooting for Sully, and I'll be rooting for the unknown names. Like, I guarantee you from now to then, I'm not going to learn these people. I hope it works out. But from afar, from an optic standpoint, on what I'm looking at, no, this looks like trash, bro. That's what it looks like. But go ahead and do your thing.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. Nathaniel Hackett is a bad hire. That's coming from Kelvin. The offensive hires are questionable. Gameboy 305 said Applebaum Gene. Boost with the first. No.
I'm telling you, dog, like, what are we talking about? We are the laughing stock of the Tone. Matter of fact, Tone, before you go, I woke up this morning and here recently, Tone, when I wake up in the morning, listen, I brush my teeth, I take a shower, I make my wife her cup of coffee, I kiss my kids, and I go to work, right? I just leave. And then when I get in my car on my way to work, I go to Twitter because I want to see if my brother has posted anything, right? And guess what I found this morning, Tone? I see MGM Bet. Now, this is Las Vegas. This is a gambling site, right? And it has all the college coaches or all the coaches that have been hired in the league. There's been 10 of them, right? Or 8 and 2 left. The 2 teams that don't even got a coach, Tone, were hired this season.
Yes.
And then, like I said, I'm trying to check on you, Tone, to see if you're active in the morning, right? I'm checking on you. So I'm looking at this, right? And let me go in the comments and see what they think of in the comments. You know, the first comment I see you. And all you say is, damn. Well, like, Tone, what are we supposed to do with this, Tone?
I ain't gonna lie, it was a bad look, bro. It was really a bad look. I'm like, yo, this is bad. He's right. Like they had the two people, and they just put the people that they anticipated them hiring and had them rated higher than Jeff Hafley. They out of all 10 coaching hires, they had Jeff Hafley dead last. And that's before the other two even hired their coaches. I was like, man. They had, I think they had the Raiders getting Clint Kubiak, and then I forgot the other one who had to have hired the Arizona Cardinals. I forgot who they had them getting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they just said who the hell the Cardinals gonna hire. Crazy Tone. You no. Real quick, I want you to go. But do you want to tell everybody, all our faithful listeners, who was number one on that list?
No, I don't remember.
Now you don't remember. Well, Tone, real quick, I can help you out with
John.
I can help you out. You want me to? Matter of fact, let me show everybody who was number one.
Toot.
The guy that I wanted was number one. Funny how that works. The guy that everybody told me was trash, Lewis, you're tripping. That guy was named number one, Tone. But go ahead, take off.
Yeah. John Harbaugh was up there number one. I give you that. But listen, so honestly speaking, I expected this. I already anticipated this. So this is why all I could do is laugh. All I can do is, just I'm not gonna get over emotional and act like I didn't see this coming. So, but I wish he would have had like something for someone to say, at least someone in the fan base to say, okay, now that's a good hire. I like that. I messed with that hire. But he didn't. To me, it seems like he's taking I don't want to say the safe route. I want to say this because I know Lou doing a funny part. So let me be honest with you. Well, keep it as real as I can based on what I know. The reason that I anticipated this is because it was based on I didn't think he had the connections. Because listen, before this year, it was kind of like the Mike McDaniel effect. No one knew who he was. But once you learned about who Mike McDaniel was, you learned the people that he worked with, the people that he got acquainted with, and then you start hearing what people started saying about him. So we're like, oh, he might be able to put together a good coaching staff because of his relationships he built. So I was like, okay, cool. Jeff Hafley, again, the only thing we've heard come out about this guy is how the players like him. How he's a good coach and he's a good guy and he was doing so well in the interview process. So I'm like, NFL is based off relationships. We know this. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So if we wanted a nice, I ain't gonna say well thought of, but a nice looking coaching staff, Jeff Hafley is not the guy for it, right? Now I'm gonna look on the bright side because someone has to. Because me and Lou, we agreed earlier. We agreed. We looked at this, and he asked me. He said, "Now, Tom, I just want your honest opinion, right? Because you said the GM, he got his guy, and that was the right decision." I was like, "For real." But he was like, "Now, what about this coaching staff?" And I'll be real with you. I say it don't look good. It's not sexy. It's not appealing. It's not nothing for you to say, "Okay, I can't wait to see these guys get to work." So that's my honest opinion. However, it may, and I'm just going to say may, be exactly what we need for where this franchise is. A bunch of people that are not well known, that need to, I guess, feel like they got to prove themselves, because I know they see it in the media. Let's be honest. I know they see it in the media. You got the Joe Rosen, them talk about it, and all the rest of the people are talking about it. And everyone that you've heard that cover this team, no one was impressed about this coaching staff. No one. So I know these guys see that and they feel some type of way. However, this has to work out. Well, it better work out for Jeff Hafley and John Eric Sullivan's sake. Jeff Hafley, when you listen to him, he sounds like a guy that loves coaching. And when I say coaching, I mean teaching and showing people how to learn the sport of football. I heard a interview from him today, and he was saying and teaching the layers of how he coach and how he teach. He said something that I thought was very important, and it resonated with me by how he teach it and how he wants it to be very complicated, but he wanted it to be easy for his players to grasp and understand. So even if it's a bit wordy, they understand it easy. They pick up simple things, and that means all you have to do is pick up the part that relates to you and your assignment. And he said first he want to teach them in the school in the books, and then he wants to teach them visually, and then third level he wants to go out there and implement it, because what he learned is the best way to teach them is to get them to actually do it and show them, because he said what he want them to know, he want them to know why he want them to do it. And the reason that resonated with me, Lou, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you remember when Vic Fangio first got here? The players was having, they didn't understand why he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was the game by. You remember? They thought the game passed them by, and they were like, they didn't think he knew what he was doing. But even the one that gave him the biggest criticism, Devon Hollis had to go on a show and said, I'm not gonna lie. Once I learned why he wanted us to do it like this, I said, oh my God, now I see why. Now I understand why he asked us to do it this way. And I think the difference between Vic Fangio was, he was a do what I tell you to do because I know what I'm doing. Just do what I tell you to do, and you'll figure out why I want you to do it. If you just do what I tell you to do, that's the old school mentality. I don't need to explain to you why. I just need you to do what I said. Just do your assignment. And this young generation, they don't understand that type of coaching. Some of them really need it, but they don't understand it. But once they grasp it, y'all saw Vic Fangio defense night and day. And the one thing that I peeped about Vic Fangio is what I'm going to be watching with Jeff Hafley, especially him, because he's on the defensive side, is I watch how he taught them. I watch how much emphasis he put on running it perfectly. You remember I used to complain about training camp and say, I never see anyone make the players run the drill over with when they mess up. They only tell them, oh, no, you did this wrong, whatever, blase squaze. But when Vic Fangio got here, I saw attention to details. I saw him start with Zach Sealer and Calais Campbell. I mean, not Campbell, I'm sorry, and Christian Wilkins. He started with those two. And then he went to Chubb and Jalen Phillips. And he made sure they got it perfect. Made them run it again and full power. If someone lollygag through the drill, he made them do it over, even if they did it perfect. If someone got lazy and peaked too early or went the way they wanted to go without peaking, he made them run it over. The attention to detail is what led me to believe that Vic Fangio was going to be good for this defense. And we saw how it turned out. He lost, I think, a third of his whole defense by the end of the season. Still finished in top 10. Still when the game on the line, held that Buffalo offense that was humming that year, held them to 14 points. With all the injuries, he didn't make excuses. Winning that snow game and held Kansas City to field goal after field goal after field goal after field goal until finally Isaiah Pacheco scored that touchdown towards the end with all of the injuries. And that, to me, when y'all hear me and Lou says players' execution is what really matters, it's this part of it when we say that is what we need out of coaching. That is a coaching job. This is when coaching matters. In the off season, when you teaching them, don't be lazy. Run it 100%. because you're going to need this on that field. Because once you get out there, bro, I did all I can. It's on you now. So don't get it twisted when we say coaching don't matter. No, it's once the game starts, you can be the greatest coach in the world. Those players have to execute. Now, Jeff Hafley, that is the biggest thing that I'm going to be paying attention to. Are you going to be paying attention to detail? Are you going to be doing exactly what you said? Because these names right here has proven nothing to me to say that I should give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, me and Lou, Vonjo, Steve, a couple other guys, we was out there breaking down Nathaniel Hackett. And you know me, once I go to digging into detail, and I tried to give his best, performance, or the best part of his resume, which you would call the highlights. And it's brought to my attention after doing research that he was over there with the Jaguars with Blake Bortles, and Blake Bortles had his best years under Nathaniel Hackett. But that was the first year as he was the quarterback coach.
Right.
Quarterback coach.
Mm.
Afterwards, it was a regression, and he just became mid. That's because he had his best season with him. He got promoted to offensive coordinator. Blake Bortles was pretty much mid as the offensive coordinator. So I think it was Steve that pointed out, he said, well, he might just be a good positional coach. So he's here as a quarterback coach. Cool. Hopefully he rekindle that flame or find that magic that he had that year one under Blake Bortles as a quarterback coach. And maybe that's his calling. But, other than that, the best thing that he had smoking for him was the fourth year, which was his third year as the offensive coordinator, when they went to the AFC Championship game. And, Blake Bortles had a efficient season, but it wasn't, one of those seasons where you say, okay, he got everything out of him. I think it was a 21 touchdown, 11 interception or something, 11 or 12 interception season with 3,800 yards. That's not blowing the doors off of anyone. That's the best he got. Now, if you want to go when he was a head coach in Denver, 4-11, got fired. You think about that, 4-11, and he got fired. If you do the math, that's 15 games. He didn't even finish the season out. They didn't even let the man coach the last game of the season. You know how bad you have to be for them to say, man, I don't even want you here for the last game of the season. Go ahead, Lou.
I believe he coached with the Jets, too, and he was trashed there, too, I believe. Wasn't he like their offensive coordinator over there with the Jets?
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator there. And it was another I looked it up, but I just wanted to focus on the things that stood out, which was what he did with the Jaguars, and then what he did with the Denver. Jaguars good, then okay, and then Denver was just terrible. And some people, Hackett was Aaron Rodgers' sister. Yeah, we know that, delusional Patriot fan. That's why I called him Aaron Rodgers' do-boy, because he's the one. He was the reason that Nathaniel Hackett got hired as the offensive coordinator at the Jets. So it is what it is. I'm just pointing that out because we have to keep it real. And when I go do my research on these guys, I just got to point out what's there. And what is there is should we be encouraged? Mike, I see Steve says he's an okay quarterback coach. Mike Best said, who doesn't suck on the Jets? Well, it's not about the Jets. You know who didn't suck at the Jets? At least the defense didn't. What's the dude that's just got the head coaching job? Robert Saleh. He made a suck as a head coach. But that defense was always top 10.
I'll give you a name that didn't suck at the Jets. Rex Ryan, that went to back-to-back AFC Championship game.
With Mark Sanchez as his quarterback.
Rex Ryan didn't suck.
Yeah, Rex Ryan. Listen, 30 of y'all in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, help grow the channel. I see you, Vonjo. Vonjo say hit to smash the like button. Appreciate you. AFC Eastie boys. Let's grab Taylor Green late. That's a fact. Oh, he was talking to KP. KP said on the negative side, I feel Green Bay leadership will fail because playing football in South Florida is a whole lot different than playing football in Green Bay, socially and environmentally. Well, you know what, KP, if that's something that we need to worry about, then we got the wrong guy. We hired the wrong guy. If that's our biggest concern, or even one of our concerns, then we have the wrong guy, KP. But yeah, so that's the thing happened with the newest one. We're still waiting for the DC, but I don't think he's gonna put any. He's not in a rush to get a DC because he's the defensive coordinator. He just need a guy there, like he said, so he could be a head coach in the offseason, especially this year because it's his first year. But I mean, I don't know, like how else are we supposed to look at this coaching staff? I mean, who stands out to Bobby Slowick?
No, Bobby Slowick don't stand out to me neither.
Ryan Denard, I mean, DB coach, from Buffalo, cool. Like, I mean, chat, y'all help us out. Like, who stands out to y'all? Who did we hire that y'all feel like, okay, I can't wait to see how they develop our players? And which one of these guys have a history of developing players?
That is a fact. And
the wide receiver coach.
The wide receiver coach. I was going to say the wide receiver coach, but going to your DB's coach from Buffalo. You know what's crazy? A lot of the times, and again, I'm not saying Tua was perfect against Buffalo, but some of Tua's better games came against Buffalo in the passing game. So if Tua is cooking, and we all think that Tua was not very good, if Tua is cooking that secondary, are we excited about that hire? That's all I'm saying. We can go down the list. I remember a game against Buffalo where Tua was 26 or 28 for almost 300. I'm to the point, Tone. Again, man, like we can play this happy-go-lucky. We could try to and I'm not saying you, Tone. I'm just saying and I don't want to do it, but I see, and I'm not picking on Mike Bass. I just want to know. It's when I see this, Tone.
Tony Hackett is just the quarterback coach. Go ahead.
He's actually overqualified for the job. It's a good hire, I think. I just want to stay with it's a good hire, I think. Mike Bass, I got a question for you so you can answer it for me in the chat. Out of all the moves, which one would you say is bad? Because all I'm saying is Mike Best is the type of fan I'm talking to, Tone. It's every move is good. And we got to get out of that. I don't want to well, let me say this. I don't want to tell Mike Best how to fan. That's not what I'm doing. But we got to be realistic at some point. Because to me, Tone, Mike Best loves this team so much, it doesn't matter what they do. And that's the wrong approach. I'm sorry. You can be a fan, bro. I'm a fan. I love this team too, Tone. I know you love this team. Everybody in this chat right now loves this football team, Tone. But with comments like this, I think it's a good hire. No, bro, it's not. We know it's not. It's okay to say it's not. So again, I just want to know, like, Mike Best, tell me what you don't like about Jeff Hafley. I bet you can't. Tell me something you don't like about any of these coaches. I bet you won't. And you think that's the right way? Nah, bro, I'm sorry. You can't fool me. And then at the end of all this fooling, I look up 26 years later, and I've just been fooled for 26 years. And now all of a sudden you want me to fall for 27 years of being fooled? Bro, we know what good teams, good coaches, good organizations, we as fans, Tone, know what that looks like by now. Does this look like one of those organizations? Does this look like one of those coaching staffs? Does this look like one of those football teams? I mean, no, bro. It does not. And I don't understand why. Look, Bobby Slowick, he was hired, guy that knows the roster, this, that, and the third. He had one good season as an offensive coordinator with Houston. The other one, we could blame it on injuries. We could blame it on C.J. Stroud maybe taking a regression, this, that, and the third. But it was under his watch. All that being said, he had one good season, one not. So I'm supposed to be excited for that? No. Nathaniel Hackett, no. A guy in Buffalo that used to get cooked by our receivers and our quarterbacks, no, I'm not going to get excited for that. Like, it's mid at best. And we want better for this team. And for me, Tony, I just don't see no bright spot. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see where they're going to try this thing. I seen KP earlier in the chat, Tone, say something to where I think he was talking to True Fin Fan, and he brought up, well, there's unity. Yeah, there's unity now, right? It's 2 weeks on to the job. Tone, you're old enough, right? We're all old enough. We're all adults here. Y'all know me. I love to throw analogies out there. You know, as a man, if you meet a woman, everything's all good. You start dating that woman the first 2-3 weeks, it's all good. It's all love. Boy, that first 6 months, man, everything, white doves are flying in the air. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Until that 9th month comes, and all of a sudden it's the first fight. And then the next fight happens. And then it's a disagreement. And then it's this, that, and the third. And by that time, a year in, there's no more unity. You like that person. You still work with that person. You're still involved with them people, but that unity might be a little gone. It might be a little fractured or broke. Like when people want me to get excited, well, look at the unity. Bro, Jeff Hafley is doing interviews and he's saying he don't even know how to get back to his office. Of course there's unity. Everybody is happy to be there right now. Can we wait and see what's going to happen? All I'm saying is, bro, I just can't keep falling for this. We know this does not look like a roster of coaches that are going to be able to put a good team out there. They're talking a good game. Tone, tomorrow night there's boxing. Telefimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. I've been all over that, Tone. You know what they've been doing? A lot of talking. Shakur Stevenson, Tone, he is sound great. Telefimo Lopez, dog, every time I listen to him, Tone, he sounds great. Now, tomorrow, when that bell rings and one of them get punched in the mouth, that's when we're going to see when it really matters. Because all that talking is going to be over. And all I'm saying is now, Tone, everybody's doing a lot of talking. It's just a bunch of talking. I know, Kelvin, can we at least get to the 9 months? Absolutely. We got to go to the 9 months. But within those 9 months, I don't have to come out here and praise every move or talk about how excited I am about these, because I'm not excited. Again, I was trying to be funny earlier, and we're joking around, and you know how we do over here. Look at that lineup on the bottom. Tony does a great job putting these thumbnails together, creating things for the show from an optic standpoint for y'all to see. Bro, nobody knows who these people are, man. We don't know realistically. Tone, I'm not trying to be funny, dog. It's frustrating, Tone.
Lord, this is the first time in 20. First time in 20 what?
In 20 what?
He said, Calvin, that's what I'm saying. So I see, listen, I see a couple of people that's saying at least let's get to 9 months and let's see what's going on. Here's the problem with that. And I'm not even gonna say problem. Here's what I guess me and Lewis differ from y'all mindset. We're here to give y'all content. And this content over here is 100% honesty. We're not here to point out only the good. We point out what we see wrong and what we see good. And when we look at this and we come in here and we tell y'all, right, like some of these other people that y'all been listening to, that everything is all peaches and creams, and they come out to be trash, y'all gonna look at us sideways. And say, but I thought you said, oh, y'all used to. So the right way to do it is to come out and say, hey, listen, as fans, Lou said this 100 times. He hope he's wrong. But just step back and look at this and just be honest. When you see that coaching staff, you be like, I know we got a coaching staff that could take us to the promised land. We might not have the players right now, but at least we have the coaching staff in place. Can y'all honestly sit back and say that? That's what you really have to say. Or you saying, well, you know, Nathaniel Hackett. I saw somebody say Nathaniel Hackett, he was coaching Aaron Rodgers when he had 2 MVPs. Okay, cool. And Rodgers still himself without Nathaniel Hackett. Who? Let me see somebody who Nathaniel Hackett, what you call that? Groomed and got better. Let me see that. Who did he develop? That's the word I'm looking for. Give me a young guy that came in as a project and he developed him. Now we're talking. You know, you can say that with anyone. Like Tyke Tolbert, you know, he have some guys that we can say, okay, they develop under him. That's cool. But for the most part, the rest of these guys, we don't know. Like we point out, like even Jeff Hafley. Jeff Hafley had a top 11, top 12 defense last year. But you want to know what? That defense was night and day when Michael Parsons went down. They had 0 sacks when he went down. What that tells me is you didn't develop the rest of the team. He himself admittedly said that he changed the philosophy of his defense to mold it around the way Michael Parsons played. And that was fine when Michael Parsons was on the field. But now look what happened when he leaves. Now let's hope he take that as a learning experience and say, no, I need to develop everyone. I need to make sure everyone is in the best position to win. Because the guys like Michael Parsons, you should not have to change and mold your defense or your scheme to them. They're one of the ones. They should be able to fit into multiple schemes. And you let them do what they do, but you don't compromise the integrity of your defense and the rest of your players. Because you need them to still perform at a higher their highest level. And by doing that, you have to put them in the best position to succeed. So everyone is performing at a high level at the same time. That's how you build top 5, top defenses. Because when you listen to Ray Lewis and the Derrick Brooks of the world, that Baltimore Ravens and that Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa 2, listen to what they say. You just do your job and trust I'm going to do my job. It's not about me being a star. It's about you doing your job. And if your job just so happens result in me having to make the play, then I'm going to be right there to have your back and make that play. And if you do your job good enough to where you make a play in the backfield, then guess what? You're still doing your job, and I'm still going to be in my position just in case you don't get your job. To me, that don't sound like a defense that was molded so Ray Lewis could be the guy. Ray Lewis was just a guy because every time there's opportunity to make a play, he made it. But everyone else on that defense were making plays and doing what they were supposed to do. That's why those defenses were so disciplined and sound, because that's how it was taught. So that's something that I have to look at and say, well, I hope he learned from that experience. Listen to him. He will blow you away.
Yeah, but even with that though, Tone, you're talking about Ray Lewis and that Raven defense. I want to stay right there because you're the one that pointed this out to me. And this is where when everybody says coaching is what does it, coaching is the one that matters, this, that, and the third. Tony, it was raining outside one day in Baltimore. A video came out. The coaches for the Ravens put it inside, and it was Ray Lewis, a player, that was telling those coaches, dog, what are we doing here? This ain't going to get us ready when we have to play in the rain. This ain't getting us ready when we got to play in the snow. That wasn't a coach that said the coaches went inside. It was the player. Yeah. So don't tell me that a coach made Ray Lewis. Nah, bro, Ray Lewis was him. With a coach, bro, Ray Lewis could have played this game, Tony, without any coaches on the sideline. Because he was built like that. You either, and I'm not saying everybody has to be a Ray Lewis, but that mindset everybody has to have. You can't be Ray Lewis, but you have to have that the mindset of Ray Lewis. That, nah, bro, this is not acceptable. So, again, it's all they're talking. It's always been about talking. I don't see nobody on this roster right now, or from a coaching staff perspective, that gets me to where it's, hey, man, you know what? I can get behind this move. I mean, Tone, out of everybody here, I said the one guy I did like was a special teams guy that we got from Buffalo. A special teams guy. I don't like the offensive line coach. I don't like hell with Bobby Slowick. I told y'all about Bobby Slowick. The fact of the matter is, a lot of the people that are trying to sit here and tell me now, Tone, that they like the move for Bobby Slowick are telling me they didn't like Mike McDaniel. Bobby Slowick is going to run Mike McDaniel's offense. Tell me, Tone, how that makes sense. You didn't like a guy. You wanted a guy fired because of his offense, but the guy that got promoted is going to run his offense. It's everything seems backwards, bro. Nothing seems good. And I'm going to say it, Tone. I didn't want to say it, but I am going to say it. The reason that you get this lineup for the coaching staff is because Jeff Hafley has no damn relationships. You started to say it this today, and I don't want to be mean to Jeff Hafley. Nobody wants to come and work with him. Let's call it for what it is. Bro, Robert Saleh got his offensive coordinator, Brian Daboll, an ex-head coach, and an ex-offensive coordinator over there. Now, who do you think has more damn experience? Brian Daboll or Jeff or Bobby Slowick? Who do you think is more qualified? Who's better at their job? But when you have relationships, you can get these guys. The fact of the matter is, Tone, we're looking at the bottom of the screen of a bunch of guys we don't know, and that's why it is, because this guy, nobody respects him. You were spot on earlier, Tone, when you said, well, it's a lot of players saying how much they love Hafley. Cool. A lot of players said they love Brian Flores. He wasn't good enough. A lot of players said they like Mike McDaniel. He wasn't good enough. So I don't give a damn about how many players are saying they love Jeff Hafley. Show me a coach that is saying anything good about Jeff Hafley. You know what we had? Who was talking about Mike McDaniel, Tone? Executives across the league were telling people how bright and how great Mike McDaniel is. Have you heard of any executives outside of John Eric Sullivan say anything about Jeff Hafley? No.
Nope.
So I'm here to tell you again, Tone, you know me and Tone. If this is your first time, and again, there's 30 of you watching, we appreciate it. Hit the like button and subscribe. But over here, at least, well, let me not say for me, for Tone too, because Tone ain't going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. We're not going to sugarcoat it, and we're not going to fluff. You got a bunch of coaches that nobody respects across the league to come over here because no one respects Jeff Hafley like that. That's why it looks like this.
Yeah, and that's
he has no relationships, and nobody respectable wants to come and work for him, Tone. That's the reality.
And that's the part that I was, trying to point out earlier. He probably just didn't gain the respect of people. He did say, and I was trying to reference a lot what he said in his interview that I heard. He did say something that and I was running late, so I couldn't get the clip. I wanted to get this clip, and it ties to why I think he have these guys too, because and it was based on him working with something. It seemed like it was good, but it didn't work out, right? And I think he's moving more in that direction. And the reason I'm saying that is, I believe, and just looking at the people names out there, Lewis said Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll he went over there, he was with Josh Allen, got proven over there with Josh Allen, went and got a head coach, right? He was out there. Brian Flores was looking to get a head coach job, right? You got the Anthony Weaver that's in the building. I don't think he wanted him to be in there, but Anthony Weaver getting head coach experience. A lot of the guys that's going, Mike McDaniel, if you look at the people that's getting hired, even who went over there with Nathaniel Hackett, I forgot the person name. But a lot of these people have cachet.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to an interview, and I was like, those type of people might not work really good with Jeff Hafley, based on where he is in his coaching career, and based on the respect that he garners right now. And then I added on the fact that, and I'm not going to forget, this is the Miami Dolphins franchise, and from the outside looking in, it doesn't. The people on the outside don't look at the Miami Dolphins and say that's the ideal place where I want to go. The only thing that they look at is say Stephen Ross willing to pay that money.
Facts.
But the business side of it is like, outside of that, you got people stabbing each other in the back, blah, blah, blah. So that's not the place that they're going to run to. So I say, okay, cool. Now we put all that together, and I say, Jeff Hafley, right now, it seems like what he's doing is putting together a staff, unfortunately, that he's comfortable with, and that I think he would not be intimidated by or challenged by.
Facts.
Right? And that, to me, shouldn't be the case. Because when he came out, he said, and I got to call a spade. He said, I want to work with guys that they got to be intentional in what they say. And they can't be yes men. Because if everyone is agreeing, then we're not thinking enough. That's what he said. And I told you, Lou asked me, he said, well, how much, when are we going to start evaluating? I said, no, it's starting now. Even though I think, let John Eric Sullivan do his job, but me critiquing him and me evaluating him, it starts now.
Every
because
day.
I don't
Absolutely.
have time. I don't have time to say, okay, give him 2 to 3 years. No, we did that with Brian Flores, and we did that with Mike McDaniel. And when we started seeing those guys develop, and all of a sudden it wasn't good enough, and you got them out the building. So I don't care. I don't have time. Now it starts now. And this team right here don't look like a bunch of people that are going to give you pushback. Outside of Bobby Slowick and maybe Nathaniel Hackett. Everyone else is Hafley is the guy. I'm doing my head coach. I'm doing what my head coach job is. And something that see, I listen attentively. And I see actions. You want to know what else I started noticing about him? When they asked him about Tua and making changes to this roster, you know what he says? No, you gotta talk to Sully about that. We let Sully handle that. Now, me, as an understanding of reading people and understand characters, because when you're a boss and when you're a supervisor and you have to manage people, you have to understand people's characters. Because you cannot deal with everyone the same. To me, that's a person that says, that's his job. I'm going to let him deal with that. I'm not going to get out of my lane. It's good. That is good. But when you're dealing with a sport of football and you have a collective of coaches, sometimes a guy with more experience, but he under you, you should be willing for him to tell you, hey, listen, I think you should do it this way. That's not the right approach. Because I've been down there. Nathaniel Hackett, he failed as a head coach. So he could show you a thing or two about failing and what not to do. That's all I'm saying. And these are a bunch of guys that he said, I'm going to do it my way. Beautiful. But it better work out because I'm going to point out the reasons that it didn't, if those be the reasons why this coaching staff doesn't get the job done. Because, yeah, if you're that guy, you don't need nobody to question you. You have their vision, and as long as they do what they have to do, everything going to work out fine. Everything will work out fine. But I'm so sorry. Now, he did say of course, we're going to have conversations about that, but I let Sully deal with that when it comes to, the players and the rosters. And I'm like, okay. I'm sorry. But you should have more input because you are the head coach. And you should be like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a collective. And then he said, okay, I understand you're going to have a conversation, but my brother, I hope this is just a PR stunt. You saying, hey, because who was it? That Schrager guy. He was like, oh, I'll give you Sully's number after this, y'all could talk about the roster and the off-season program and things of that nature. Because even when they was asking about the players, this was on the Travis Wingfield interview. He was saying, oh, yeah, Sully is looking for guys, scouts and all that for his team. You understand? As in, I'm letting them do their thing over there when it comes to the scouts and doing all that. I'm just going to tell them what type of players I need, and then they bring them in. I'm thinking now with this new age and a new way of coaching, you have to have better input than that. You have to be more involved. So
it sounds like Sully is the head coach of the team. That's what it sounds like.
With a lot of way he answered his question. It's like, because he did say, I'm sorry, but man, we got a point. When one of the main reasons that he said that he left college is because of the changing of the dynamic. And he was like, man, it was more talking to agents. It was more going out and interviewing with the players and trying to get them to come back and negotiating and doing all this. And he was like, I just wanted to coach. And in my head, I'm like, bro, that's what you got to do in the NFL. That's the part of the NFL.
That's what you got to do here.
That's the main part. Mm-hmm. You have to talk to these coaches. I mean, these players and their agents and see what they're going to do.
Yeah.
That's not only John Eric Sullivan. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying, y'all. I'm pointing out some cause for concerns. We got to call a spade a spade. He seemed like an old school guy. Go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts. My bad.
He seemed like an old school guy that just want to focus on coaching. That could be great, but that means everything around you have to be perfect because you just want to focus on that one part. But I'm sorry, that's not the way of the new age coaching now, and that's not the way of the great coaches that great at what they do. They have hands-on on everything. Now they let their people do their job, but they don't. Hey, it's like he can't stand that. He wants to be a teacher. He wants to get in with the players and learn, and he gonna coach them tough. And yeah, I believe he's gonna do all that. But I always tell y'all, same way I critique Mike McDaniel, you're a brilliant mind in offense, brilliant with getting the best out of players. But what about the everything else that come with coaching? Like, he sounds like he's going to be good at discipline and doing and all that stuff and coaching and teaching. Cool. But what about the agents? What about looking further down the line and the scouting part? And what about when they need someone else to do the Senior Bowls and then this guy he have a contract situation and this guy got a family situation and this guy he needs whatever it might be, whatever the case might be, and you telling me you don't like that part. That's what made you come back to the NFL. But my brother, that is the NFL. So, man, and maybe that's why he wanted to work with John Eric Sullivan so much, because he knows John Eric Sullivan gonna take care of all of that for him. But to me, that'd mean you're too reliant on John Eric Sullivan doing everything around you, and you just have tunnel vision. And I'm like, no. I need you to be good at every aspect of coaching. Mike Best said, Tony, sounding like you want to collect. No. See, that's what the problem is. The collective is no one know where to place the blame. No. Head coaching means you have to do everything. It's not only about just coaching the players. You have to build a relationship with those players, agents as well. This is part of sports. I'm sorry.
You got to be able to be multiple. You got to be able to do multiple things, Tom. Yes. You're spot on in everything you're saying. You're spot on. Real quick, Tom, because I know we'll probably move on to the next topic, the next one we got. and we're gonna get to that. I just want to highlight one last comment, and you brought up Mike Best. What he just said. I'm gonna highlight another comment from Mike Best because I wanna stop the misnomer, right? That because Mike Best is not the only one that has said this, and I just want to put a stop to it. I'm gonna read it real quick, and then I'm gonna address it. It says we're acting like 9 teams weren't trying to hire Hafley before we hired him. 2 teams were even trying to steal him away. Now, Tone, I want to stop this, right? I want people to understand, Mike Best included, how foolish and gullible you sound when you write something like this. Just because you go on an interview doesn't mean the place wants to hire you. Because if that's the case, Anthony Weaver would be a head coach. Do you know how many interviews Anthony Weaver has? Anthony Weaver went on every job search known to man that was available this season. Is he a head coach?
And sometimes twice.
Hey, Tone, every job that was available, guess who went on that interview? Mike McDaniel.
Dang.
Did every team want to hire Mike McDaniel because he went? Like, what are we talking about here, man? Can y'all stop with the 9 teams wanted to hire him? I just want to know from Mike Best and everybody else. Can you show me the teams that wanted to hire Hafley? Because the only one that hired him was us.
And I know he's getting that from what Hafley said. Yeah, I had some guy. And he did say that. He said he had one team that was down here, which I'm assuming he was talking about the Raiders. And then he had another team that was willing to book him a flight out to fly him in for a second interview. See, now that led me right into the segment what I was going to say about John Eric Sullivan, where he said, "Oh, I promised John Eric I was going to come here first," and I think that's because that's who you're comfortable with. I think if you look at the relationship and the way they talk, John Eric he got a coach that he probably ain't not even gonna have to worry about challenging him on the type of guys that he want to bring in. At least with Mike McDaniel, y'all know that A-Chan fella. See, Mike McDaniel won an A-Chan in the second round. Chris Greer said, "Well, stick around, we'll get him in the next round." That's why he drafted Cam Smith in the second round and then got A-Chan in the third round. But Mike McDaniel peeped him out early. I need him. Was willing to give him a second round draft pick. Now, Lou, let me ask you a question. And everybody in the chat, do y'all think he was willing? He was worth that second round draft pick? If we picked A-Chan in the second round instead of the third, do y'all think that would have been a good pickup?
Absolutely.
Now, tell me what y'all think about Cam Smith in the second round.
It was trash. It was trash.
So maybe a little things are a little different, but that's the part of coaching that I'm talking about. Identify your guys, my brother. Because I don't want this already starting off. Well, I just let Sully deal with the players. I just tell him the type of players I need and his scouts and all that. No. Let's nip that in the bud now. Yeah. Eventually, at the end of the day, it's going to be Sully's decision who to bring in. But you need to take some responsibility and some input and say, that's the type of guy I need and why. And that's all I'm saying. So,
well, Tone, and people in the chat, I see Kelvin, I see, I believe this is Kenna. I could be wrong, but I believe it's Kenna. And they're both saying basically the same thing. Like, well, I thought the contract negotiations and talking to agents was like the general manager's job. Again, y'all are missing what Tony's trying to tell y'all. Yeah, for the most part, the general manager works out contracts and talks to agents, this, that, and the third. But when we opened up the show and we were talking about Jeff Hafley and the relationships, that's what Tony's talking about. Jeff Hafley is the ultimate coach. You hear him and everything he says, it's coaching, teaching, coaching. What Tone is talking about in that role, in that position, you got to talk to agents, though. You got to talk to players. You got to talk to family members. You got to be everything around the football team. You have to have an input and stuff. And it just seems like Jeff Hafley, all he wants to do is coach and teach. That's it. Well, again, You're the overseer of everything. When you're the head coach, you don't have just one job. You got a lot of jobs to do.
Yes.
And can you do it? That's what Tone's trying to explain. Hopefully, I said it right, Tone, because I don't want people to think.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I could give y'all the example for a guy that we got in the building. He might be going now with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill wasn't only talking to the GM. You know who Tyreek Hill and his agent went to because they wanted to go back to Kansas City? They went to Andy Reid. Hey, listen, we need you to do this. What do I have to do to get me? What's going on? I'm not hearing what I need to hear from the front office and the GM. And eventually, when Andy Reid stopped reaching back to them, it's when he told his agent to get him up out of there. That's Tyreek Hill, one of the top players in the NFL. And this is what I'm saying. As a coach, you have to be willing to deal with that kind of stuff. It's what I'm saying. It's good to stay in your lane.
Some of these people, Tone, I'm sorry. They don't get it when you're talking, right? When the microphones are on, they don't listen. Look at Mike Best, bro. Look at him. The Raiders tried to hire him from underneath the Dolphins at a hotel in Florida. He's talking about Jeff Hafley. I want to point out to Mike Best something. I want to point out, Tone. Now, Tone, actually, I'm going to ask you. Do you think the Raiders were in Florida to talk to Jeff Hafley, or do you think they were in Florida to go and watch their future #1 draft pick? Which one do you think, Tone?
Yeah, the Cuban Missile, my brother. Fernando Mendoza.
Now, Mike Best thinks the Raiders flew from Las Vegas to Miami to go talk to Jeff Hafley. You see what I'm saying, Tone? We all know that Fernando Mendoza is going #1 overall to the law. There is no secret. This man thinks they went to Florida to talk to Jeff Hafley.
That doesn't change the fact that they tried. I'll put it this way. The only reason you feel like they tried is because Jeff Hafley said that. Tom Brady didn't come out and say that.
First of all, he didn't even say the Raiders, though, Tone. He said
he
didn't say the Raiders.
Yeah, he didn't specify his name. Yeah, we're assuming it was, yeah. And you know what? I'll explain that. They could have reached out. Y'all, you know what? I got one for y'all. Do y'all remember when Bill Belichick got fired? What team that was that he was interviewed to be the coach for? I'm trying to see. Was it the Giants? Who was it? Y'all do.
When Belichick?
When Belichick. Deep Belichick.
I think it was the Giants.
It wasn't the Giants. I went there. This Belichick. You know they called him in for a second interview. Now, if you know anything about coaching and interviews and everything like that, if you call in one of those guys, or Belichick's, like the John Harbaughs of the world, for a second interview, he has the job. Bill Belichick ain't get the job.
That's a fact.
Bill Belichick took that as an insult.
That's a fact.
How dare you call me for a second interview and you ain't hire me? You know what I noticed about this coaching spree right here? Damn near every last one of them got second interviews.
Exactly.
Damn near every last one.
You know why that is? Because they weren't convicted. The teams weren't convicted to hire them from the rip.
Y'all don't understand, man.
Hey, Tone, real quick, last comment, because I know we got to get into the next topic. Because I could do this all night.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's a Friday too. Listen, we got all day.
I got all day, Tone. Louis, be real. You haven't liked Hafley ever since his name was rumored to be the front runner. He would have to walk on water for you to like him. You are absolutely correct, Mike Best. I'm not even going to take that away. I'm agreeing with you. You are absolutely right. Now, Mike Best, I just want to know, when did you start liking Jeff Hafley? 2 weeks ago? Because before that, you didn't even like him. Matter of fact, Mike Best, before 2 weeks ago, you didn't even know him. So when did you start liking him? And the question for me is, why do you like him? Because you don't even know what he is. You don't know what he is as a head coach. Why do you like him so much? See, I can admit why I don't like him. I want you to admit to me why you like him. Because he's just a Dolphin head coach? That's what I was telling you earlier. The only reason you like any of these moves, because they wear the Dolphin logo. I love the logo. I don't love coaches. I don't love players. I don't love none of that. I'll leave that up to you. I love the logo. And I'm sorry, this shit right here is not good for the logo.
And I'm gonna end the topic here. Everything that I am talking about, Lewis is talking about, especially when I critique, and Lewis as well. When we could critique them, I want y'all to ask yourself, is it from a hating standpoint, or is it from a standpoint that we see that could potentially be a problem for our franchise to be successful? For example, I just pointed out things that concerned me was the part that he didn't want to deal with agents. And I gave you an example of how a player, his agent, reached out to a head coach to try to get a deal done. So by me seeing that and understanding that Jeff Hafley doesn't want to deal with that, I see that as a potential problem if we want to get these big name players to stay with us and want to be a Miami Dolphin. So you tell me, which one benefits us as more? A fan that said, well, just let him be who he is and let's see if he get it right? Or someone like me that's going to say, well, that's a potential flaw. And we might need you to go out there to convince one of those big name guys to come play for us. Which one you think is best suitable for our franchise to be better? Us up here saying, listen, he got it. I'm going to see what he can do, and I just trust that he's going to be good. Or people like us that say, wait. That might be a problem down the line. No, we don't need you to be like this. This is not the right way to approach it. Because you know that learning curve that the other two, and majority of the first-time head coaches go through, it's things like that. Not understanding that comes with being a head coach. But you have to go through it to know something. It's the thing that we don't look at and say, oh, well, dang, I didn't know that. Well, obviously we don't know that because we haven't been coaches. But when you have people come out and you see things that happened, that transpired, and you listen, I learn. Listen, smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. Learn that and y'all understand something. That way you don't have to take as many bumps and bruises as the past guy did. Been there, done that. So, yeah, but yes, we do have a second topic. Look, we done spent over an hour on that topic, but we do have a second topic to get through. And apparently, the numbers have dropped, my good people. Boom.
Who's that in the middle of the screen, Tom?
You know who that is. Yeah, you not gonna play with him like he one of those circles. I gave him a screen on his own. Everyone know him.
You know what, Tom? You know what, Tom? Finally, after a week and a half, I've seen somebody I know. Now the show can start. Now I can talk. Now I can finally say something. I know who this is. I bet.
My good buddy Brandon Shore. 22 cap, 2026 cap has been announced, and 305 million. So it's going up around 25 million extra dollars. We got the word in. It came through last night. ESPN did the date breaking today, so it's official. And I know y'all see the question, cap here or not. Now, me personally, when I was doing my numbers and thinking of who should we keep and who can we afford, I was anticipating the cap going up. I just didn't know the exact number. now that it went up and we understand, because I think now what we stand like 25 million over the cap now, right, Lou? After starting negative,
Mm-hmm.
we're like 25 over the cap.
Yep.
Now that's not including, the contracts and whatever, what we got to get done. So Barry Jackson, I believe. Barry Jackson smartly put out a tweet because everyone was excited. Okay, we got all this money. Yes, now it's not as bad as we think it is. Let me get David Ferguson. There you go. This is what he wanted people not to do. We got an extra 20. Who we gonna spend it on? So Barry Jackson posted out. If they don't cut Tyreek Hill, it takes it from positive 25 million to only 2 million.
To only 2. Yep.
That's just one player. And I think he did that intentionally because you only have 2 people that you go post June cut. Now, I believe majority of this fan base, at least the people that pay attention to it, there's 3 potential people that we need to post June cut. We only got room for 2 of them. Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa, and Bradley Chubb.
Yep.
So that means one of them people gonna kill us on that cap. one of those 3. And I think
take your pick.
I think Bradley Chubb should be the pick. I'm gonna be real. And ease that blow that we're gonna take from Tua and Tyreek Hill. So let's pump our brakes with that part of it. But it's not as bad as we initially thought. There's some wiggle room right there. And then we show if you cut this one. Now you do have the what's our kicker name? I'm so sorry.
Jason Sanders. Yep.
That's $7 million. Regardless if you post or June, it don't matter. That's $7 million we save. And I want y'all to understand this is saving money. This is not, you just get $7 million. No. You saving that $7 million that you have to spend extra.
Mm-hmm.
So just so y'all can have an understanding, they're still gonna count as some money taken away from you, but it's $7 million less. And when you cut Tyreek, it's gonna be how much we save, Lou? I'm sorry.
Thing is,
how much we save with
post? I think it's like 20, a little bit over 21 million.
Or 21. So you save with 21 million. You still got to pay him the other. Whatever he do, you got to pay him that other, let's say 20-something million, but you're going to save it. So that whole cap don't hit. This is what the post-cut means when they say save. They're not just giving you 7 more. And this. No. You're just saving it. It's only this amount is hitting that cap so far. And only this amount is hitting that cap instead of the whole 460 or 50 or 40 or whatever they're dealing with. Just so y'all understand. You're saving money. But it's still money going towards the cap. So with all that being said, right, now that we started in a positive and not a negative, that does make a big difference. Let's call a spade, and let's be 100. It does make a big difference because we understand how much money we could clear up without knowing how much it was. And without the extra 25 million, it was up with like 30 or 40 some million, right, Lou?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
Around that price range. With all that with now what we know now, do that change your philosophy or some of the guys that you think we should basically either extend or cut? And let's start off with who do you think we should post June cut? Who will be your 2?
Tyreek and Tua.
I think me and you are on the side. I think it should be Tyreek and Tua. And I think we should try to restructure Bradley Chubb.
See, that's where it's hard for me because I don't believe we owe Bradley Chubb any more guaranteed money.
Oh, if it's not.
No, I don't think
that's whole. Okay.
I think his money is already, the guaranteed money I believe is gone. So I'm not trying to restructure his contract. What I'm doing,
we just cut him.
Yeah, I'm cutting him outright. But I am trying to bring him back if he wants to come back on a cheaper deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I
Okay.
would be doing with Bradley Chubb.
All right. So I think we're on the same page with that one. Yeah. Cut him and then try to bring him back on a cheaper deal. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. What about the Mika Fitzpatricks of the world?
Like I said on Wednesday's episode, Tone. Listen, Minka, from we drafted you. Ultimately, we had you for 1 year. We trade you. We got to make a trade to bring you back. It was fun, but that's for me. I'm good with Minka Fitzpatrick. He can go. Like, it is what it is. He's another guy. He's under contract now. Tone, I'll say this: if we don't have to give him no more money, and we just have to pay him what he's owed or whatever. If you want to have Minka here for at least 1 year, fine. But as far as like extending him or giving him more money to keep him here, like a long-term investment, like again, when Sully sat there, Tone, he mentioned 4 guys that were foundational pieces to him. Minka Fitzpatrick was not on that list. I agree with Sully. I agree with Sully in that aspect. Again, if you're not signing him, cool, whatever. He's already on the roster. But nah, for me, Tone, Minka can go. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not re-signing Minka, even with this new money that is coming in.
Yeah, and I think they have to be smart with the money. That let's not be like the people that get my mom. My mom used to say you got a hole in your pocket. I mean that money burning a hole in your pocket. Let's not be like those people. We have to be smart with it. You don't want to get cap relief just to put yourself right back in cap hell. That's literally insanity. So you don't want to do that. So let's be smart with the money. Let's figure out what we're going to do with these guys, and let's not just spend money because we have it to spend, because that's not the way you do it. However, with Mika and who else I was going to bring up? Achan. There you go. Achan, Brewer, Womolu, and Jordan Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
I think this helped us in the lines of if we extend them, and once you extend that gives you money because you push that money down the side down longer. I think that helps us out to where it won't help us, and we still can build on this cap and not get in cap hell. Steve said, "Lures a restructure for Chubb gives you $12 million."
Yeah, but I'm pushing.
Okay.
I'm still pushing. I'm pushing money back. See again.
Yeah, I want to push it back. Yeah, you have to add more years.
We've already pushed it back 2 years of Tone already. We restructured him the last 2 years. I'm not doing that third.
You're gonna have to take that hit.
It's gonna catch us up eventually. And why am I putting money back? Right when again, listen to what Steve said. It will save us $12 million for what? Are we competing realistically in 26?
At least the realistic expectation, no.
Tone, realistically, let's say we win 7 games, 8 games, right? That's realistic. That's not getting us in the playoff. What are we creating space for? For what? We ain't winning this season anyway, bro. Look, I don't want to hurt people's feelings out here, Tone, but this is not going to be a competitive team in 26. It's just not. And I'm talking about a competitive, Tone, for what we hear on a day-to-day basis when we interact with a lot of these people that are watching us. People want playoff success. People want long, a deep playoff run. You think this is what we're getting in 26? So no, I just wanted to, bro. I don't need an extra $12 million this year to push money back to the side for no reason. Nah, bro, I'm sorry. I'm not in the business of doing no. You know what's crazy, Tom? This is if a move like that, you know who does that? Chris Greer.
Yeah.
That's a Chris Greer move. Ain't we talking about change? Ain't these guys supposed to be the smarter guys in the room that are gonna do things the right way? Restructuring Bradley Chubb is not the right move.
Nope, I don't think so. And let me correct something. I'm so sorry. Tyreek, I think the best course of action is trading him. That's the way you save the most money on that cap.
Now that's a good point. Yeah.
Trading him. If we trade Tyreek, then we still have the 2 post Junes, and then we could Bradley Chubb and Tua. Get him up out of here. I think that would be the best course of action, and that will be the best thing for the Miami Dolphins. Now, last two, Brewer and Achane. Are we extending both? One, and if so, one, which one?
I'm extending Brewer. Tone for
Three.
me.
I'm sorry, Brewer, Achane, and Brooks. I'm sorry, three of them. Yeah.
Brooks, I'm bringing back two. I'm extending Brewer. I'm extending Jordan Brooks. Listen, I want Achane to be here, Tone. All I'm going to say,
if you trade him,
he gives you the most bang for your buck.
Yep.
And again, I want Achane here. So to answer the question, yeah, I'll sign him. For me, Tone, there's two things. It depends on what he's asking for, because again, me and you have talked about it. Listen to Achane. Since everybody's been listening to what people have been saying, listen to what Achane said about the market is the market. Basically, that's what he said. And he said he's looking to break the bank. That's what he said. His words, not mine. He wanted Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson, Tone, to set the market. So he could go and break what they were making.
Yep. He said, if y'all don't think so, go look at the Amara St. Brown and his brother, I think. Go look at their podcast. He said it on there.
Absolutely. So all I'm saying is, Tone, at the end of the day, bro, do I want Achane here? Yes. Do I want to sign him? Yes. Do I think the Dolphins ultimately do it? I do, right? But again, I'm just talking for myself. One, it's what he's asking for, because as much as I love Achane, I'm not resetting the market with Achane. I'm sorry. I'm just not. Like, Achane's not getting no $18, $20 million from me. That's number one. And number two is the elephant in the room, and we kind of been talking about it. And again, it's a touchy subject. People get in their feelings about it. Does Achane fit? I don't want to say the scheme, because, yeah, he fits the scheme.
The philosophy.
But the philosophy and the motto. I didn't want to steal it away, because that's what you were talking about today. So I'm going to let you do your thing, because I completely agree. I'm just saying, if you look at the mode of Green Bay running backs, that's where Hafley's from, especially John Eric Sullivan. He's been there 20 years. Go look at those running backs, and you show me one that looks like Devon Achane like that. So go ahead, Tone, do your thing. Take off.
Yeah, and I think earlier, I think it was Dave. He was saying he bought out Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. Aaron, what's his name?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. He bought Aaron Jones. I'm not. That's the closest you get to 810. He's still way more compact. 210. You know, carry that weight like he was 220. You know, it's just the height. So, and that's the thing that we have to look for if they're going to stay within that same mold. Because Jeff Hafley and Sully both said they want to build teams that be physical, both physical and mentally tough, that can win in cold weathers. Like, one thing I like what they faced every problem head on. Now, is Achane capable? Yes. I don't have the exact numbers, but I gave y'all the numbers because when people was talking about Green Bay and they don't use them as much as we think they do, and I gave y'all what's his name, Josh Jacobs' numbers and his carries. This is his carry. This is not even talking about his rushing attempts, just his carries. In 2 seasons in Green Bay, he has more attempts than Achane does in his 3 seasons in Miami. Let that sink in. It's either more or he has 10 carries less in 2 seasons.
Say it again, Tone.
In his 3 years, y'all. I want y'all to let that sink in when we talk about the load that he has to carry. In the last 3 seasons, let's just say 3 seasons of Achane, 3 seasons of Josh Jacobs. Now, it was only 2 in Green Bay, the other one, we got to go back to the Raiders. He has 2 out of those the last 3 seasons with over 300 plus carries. Etienne has 0. Not 1. The closest he got was this year when he had 200 and what is 248? I think it was 248. And he had, I think, 4 more carries than Josh Jacobs, 4 or 8. And now, Steve, you told me that they played the same amount of games. That's not true. Josh Jacobs played 1 less game than Etienne. And Etienne had only 4 more carries than Josh Jacobs this season.
And I believe Josh Jacobs, even in games that he played, I think he had a limited role or left some games early due to injury.
With the injuries too, right? Which Etienne had 1 game that he left due to injury, and then he didn't play the last game. So I just want y'all to let that sink in when you think about the type of wear and tear that we'll be asking for Etienne if they keep that type of player profile and that philosophy. And that is what I'm saying. Do not confuse his capabilities and his abilities with, I think, their philosophy. We're talking about their philosophy. And yes, he's capable of being dynamic in this type of offense. And I think any offense you give him. But is he capable of carrying that load for a full season? That is the question that we have to see. And then if you say, well, they don't have to give him that full load, then are you going to pay him the type of money that you want to pay him
to be the number one guy?
He's not able to do that.
Absolutely. Yep.
And this is where the questions come in. Nothing to do with his ability. Nothing to do if we have faith in him. Me and Lou both. We wish this man stay on this team. He's our best weapon.
Facts.
But as true fans, and taking off our homer hat, we have to assess what's really going on and say, well, man, there might be a possibility where he might be asking too much. And you know how they say price himself out? I think that'll be a situation where he may price himself out. And it's only because you're worth that money, but just not for what we're trying to build here, though. Or the way we're going to use you here. You might be worth a 40, 50,000 contract over 4 years. But over here, you're worth 20 to 30 over 4 years because of how we're going to use you. Because in able for us to give you 40, 50, then that means we need to use you as a workhorse. And can you be a workhorse? Now, that's the type of thing that I think people need to look at when it comes to HN, and that might be the problem. And then, last but not least, well, listen, I think Aaron Brewer don't fit the profile, but he fit the mentality, and he showed that he can do it over a 17-game span and be physical and dominant. Oh, Austin Jackson, that's a good name, Steve. Nobody.
That is a good name. That is a good name. Tone, real quick, before we get off of A-Chain real quick, I got 2 questions for you. Right?
Yeah.
In a trade scenario, first of all, the first question, I guess, if you were trading A-Chain, what is your bottom line? What does a package look like for A-Chain pick-wise? And number 2, I guess the follow-up to that question would be, because that's what you want. And then realistically, what do you think the Dolphins could get for him? So I guess question 1, what would you want for him? Question 2, realistically, what do you think a trade package, what do you think the value is that another team would be willing to give up for a guy like A-Chain?
Well, being because man, you did our homework and see what Christian McCaffrey got for A-Chain, I can have more realistic expectations. Last time I was saying 3 seconds. That's a bare minimum. You hear me? But being more realistic, a second, third, and a fifth, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
And I think that's a lot to ask. Now, I think, and this is just me, they may be able to get a second and third. And if they get a third one, I don't think it's gonna be. It might. It might not be a fifth. It might be a 6 or a 7. Right? But somebody might come and say, "Man, I'll give you a second fourth in the 6." Right? Or a second and 2 fourth, one this year and one next year. But realistically, I think they probably will maybe be able to get 2 draft picks, which might be a second and a fourth.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just based on the running back, because they're understanding that the Miami Dolphins are in a position to where they either have to pay him or he's going to give them problems. So they're going to use that as leverage. And then I think when it comes down to, listen, either we make a deal or we just extend them, and they'll be like, well, listen, this is what we got. And they're going to make their best offer. And I think it'd probably be a second and a fourth and a second and third. So, yeah. So now moving off from A10, I was going to end it with Waddle, but now we can talk about Austin Jackson. Over under, bro. 65%. We go 65% chance that Waddle is on his team next year. This season. I'm sorry. This season. I'm asking you a question. Do you think? So basically, I'm asking, do you think is more than 65% chance he get traded, or less than 65% chance he get traded?
Man, Tone, listen, man. People called last year or at the trade deadline for Jalen Waddle, and people were offering a first round pick for him. Now, it might not have been a 26, it might be a 27. I believe, I'm gonna be honest, Tone. I think 65% chance or better Jalen Waddle gets traded in the off season.
And correct me if I'm wrong. It's again the A10 situation. Maybe the philosophy and the mold, the type player that they want as receiver, right?
Well, listen, I think that definitely plays a part in it. If everybody wants to talk about, Tone, what they're listening to, well, John Eric Sullivan sat down, I believe it was with Travis Wingfield, and he mentioned, again, we talked about it earlier, 4 key guys foundationally that he envisioned for this football team. Jalen Waddle was not on that list. He did not mention that man's name.
Nope.
So again, I think, to your point, I think philosophies, whatever the mindset, I think they might look at Jalen Waddle and be like, hey man, he doesn't fit the bill. And going to my earlier point, teams called at the trade deadline. I think teams will call for Jalen Waddle in the offseason to see what's going on. And in my opinion, I think Sully, that is a move where, again, we're not going to like it as Dolphin fans. We've known and kind of fell in love with, to say the least, right? I don't want to mean love literally, but like,
yeah, we know it. Yeah.
Jalen Waddle's one of ours, bro. We drafted him. He's our guy. And it's going to be hard to see him out the building, Tone. But I do think Jalen Waddle, if I had to pick anybody that would be getting traded off this team, it would be Jalen Waddle. I do believe you said 65%. I'm going to say, yeah. Again, I think Jalen Waddle's up out of here, bro. I think someone will call, and especially if a first is on the line, if someone calls and says, hey, we got a first for Jalen Waddle, I think Jalen Waddle's up out of here. And maybe that price went down. But again, I went long enough. I think Jalen Waddle will be traded before this season starts in 26.
Yeah. I think if Buffalo come with a similar package, a first and a third, Waddle might be gone. I'm just gonna be real with you. He may be gone, and I do think it's a higher, more than a 65% chance that Waddle is gone than he's still on his team. I think he right now give you the best value because of the team that's looking for him, because of that team friendly deal that he has for his position. I think his position, even though it might be more in terms of actual dollar amount, but I think the value for based on a position, I think his contract is going to be more team friendly than what you would have to pay Achan. Because we already know Achan trying to reset the market. Waddle didn't do that. Waddle's contract right now is a bargain. When you look at the receivers that's in his tier are getting paid. So, yeah, and I think teams are going to look to give because he's the only one that someone offered a first for. And I'm sorry, if you're a new GM, extra first,
that means everything to you.
Hey, that looks real nice, especially for a guy you ain't trade for.
Yeah, you have no ties for Jalen Waddle. You have no ties to Jalen Waddle. Hey, Tone. Monday again. I'm going to ask you. You do a lot of work. I'm going to put some more. I'm going to ask you to do more work. Monday for the show, if it's possible. Concrete. Well, no. We ain't gonna put you on the night shift. You know what I'm saying? We gonna
shout out to Crypto.
Shout out to my man Crypto. Tone, maybe Monday.
Mystic, you late.
Mystic was good. Salute. Yeah, Mystic saying Applebaum. Yeah, we got another bum in the building. Tone, Monday, maybe if you can, we can put on the screen or highlight or even just get the numbers. We always talk about Jalen Waddle, Tone, in the aspect of this team-friendly deal. Well, the Dolphins, Tone, the Dolphins have blew that opportunity of that team-friendly deal for Jalen Waddle. And what I mean by that is, yeah, it's been team-friendly. And this year in 26, guess what it is, Tone? It's team-friendly. Go look at what that cap hit is in 27. I think it's 36 million, if I'm not mistaken. I think in 2028 that cap hit is 32 million or something like that. It could be reversed. It could be 32 million in 27, 36 million in the 28. As much as I love Jalen Waddle, Tone, Jalen Waddle is not a $32 million receiver. He's just not. Me and you have been on this show almost now for 2 years, and we've talked about it. What we wanted from Waddle. Step up, bro. Be more boisterous. Demand the ball. Be one of those ones. And he never did it. So what I got to do, Tone, is look at that. And when I think of a $30 million receiver, I think of one of them ones. We always hear about wide receivers are divas. But you know what diva means? No, you're going to throw me this ball 13 times a game. Yeah. And I'm going to go get them 9-10 catches for $150 and a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. That's what Jamar Chase does.
Yeah.
That's what Justin Jefferson does. That's what A.J. Brown wants. That's what all the dogs want. And I'm sorry, if you're going to get paid like a dog, you better be one of them dogs. And Tone, again, as much as I love Waddle, he ain't one of them dogs. Well, he hasn't shown me to be one of those, like, again, elite guy, one of the $30 million
guys. And he doesn't
guys.
Demand the football like those guys.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. They do. So I just wanted to highlight that team-friendly deal, Tone, that shit is over, bro.
And so in the trade package, they would take that contract and they basically would just add years on and guarantee and give them more guarantees.
Yes.
And it'll become team friendly for them. And he be like, well, I'm getting my money, and y'all getting y'all extensions on this cap, and we both win. Because we all know when you learn the name of the football game, these players only care about that guaranteed money. Hands down. You could all that 212 that looks good. All he want to see is that 163. That's the only part he care about. You know, that 250 and all that. No. What? How much Justin Herbert got? 180 or 190? That's all he sees. 190. He don't see 250.
No, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
No, he got 217 million fully guaranteed.
Ooh, the whole thing.
Well, no, he got a 200 and some plus $1 million deal.
Okay, and then 217. Yeah, okay.
The guarantees for him was 217. Remember, Joe Burrow's at 218 fully guaranteed.
Yeah, so That's all they see it to. Y'all might see 250 and 260. No, they see that guaranteed money. That's what they look at. So y'all take that with a grain of salt, or take that with what you will. Do with that with what whatever you want. Yeah. So yeah, man. So listen, man. It seems like the Dolphins aren't in such a bad cap situation as we initially thought, but there's still a lot of work to do. Do not get lazy. This is the first year of this regime, so they can't afford to be lazy anyways. They have to make all the right moves from the get go, and that's an unfair position to be put in. But y'all took the job and y'all accepted it. Maybe Lou, maybe that's why they was crying, because reality hit and say now we got to fix this.
You know what, Tone? That's a very good point. I want to take back everything I said about Jeff Hafley and John Erickson. Tone, if I took this job, I'd be crying too. This shit right here, Tone, is terrible. Hey, Sully Hafley, I'm sorry. I understand. I get it.
We apologize on behalf of the Blitz pickup, my brother.
That's a fact.
But listen, man. Listen, we almost hour 41. Y'all know how we get when me and my brother up here. We can go back and forth, especially on a Friday when we got all day, baby.
Now look,
we got all day.
Now look. Tone just said an hour 41. Now I know the last time when I wasn't here, he went like 2:15. But I'm gonna leave it alone. Like, I'm just saying, hey, he talking about, my brother, look, I would now, but he cutting us off at 141. Now, when the other loading box was here, he went for 2 hours. All right, say less. All right, say less.
Hey, listen, man, it's still 29 of y'all, the Blitz pickup cries when they see Alex PTO request for the 53rd consecutive week.
That's crazy, man.
Hey, shout out to my nemesis, Game Boy 305. I'm back to being critical tone, so you recognize me now, Game Boy. Listen, still 28 of y'all in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Listen, help the channel grow. Trust me, we need to get as many of the Dolphin fan base over here to listen to the real, snap them into reality, let them get the real takes and understanding of what's really going on with this team and what we really need to become a great franchise. I'm quite sure a lot of this fan base is so sick and tired of everyone telling them everything is peaches and cream. And then after everything does not turn out to be the way that they said they was, all they do is go on little rants and show how and have fits and basically temper tantrums because it didn't go the way that you thought it was going to go. And that's because most of you guys aren't being objective. Shout out to the ones that keep it real. And if y'all wonder why I'm over here, me and Lou always get along, because even when we go against each other, we keep it real. Hey, Lou, that was some BS you were talking. Hey, Tone, that was some BS you talking. That ain't what's good for this team, my boy. I don't know what you looking at, but I don't see that being good for our team. And if Sully and Hafley and Shore and not Garfinkel, Steven, I don't even want to say Ross because he forgot both of their names. What else is running the show? If y'all get into it like me and Lou get into it, I guarantee y'all run a better franchise. Because one thing we know, y'all are not accepting anything less than greatness when it comes to how we're going to put the team together. So yeah, take notes. Y'all send them to the Blitz pickup. Tell everyone to take notes, and the Dolphin franchise will be in a better place. Appreciate y'all. Lou, anything else before we get out here?
No, dog, I'm all good.
Shout out to Niner. Niner say free help for your boys at the Blitz pickup. Just hit the like button. Much
love.
Oh, much love as normal. To Tony and Lou. Appreciate you, 9087. Always, man.
Hey, man.
So Lou, man.
Listen, I don't know who this 987 is. His mama named him Mystic Brother. I'm gonna call the man Mystic Brother. That's all I know. Hey, listen, man. Tone, you ain't even got to tell me. I know what the drill is. This has been the Friday episode of the Blitz Pickup. You know what it is. Salute to Jess in her endeavors. Salute to the producer in the back. For my brother Tone, you know who I am. We will see y'all Monday for the next episode of the Blitz Pickup. We might see y'all some Twitter Spaces this weekend. Who knows? Y'all be safe. Yeah, love y'all. Peace out. We'll see y'all Monday after 8 o'clock. Remember, we're always late. Bang, 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 bang.
And don't worry, we're going to get into the off season. I seen someone ask about quarterbacks. Trust me, it's coming. February is going to be that time when we start getting into prospects. Baby! Taylor, you know it. All right.